Hello, loves. Jamie Flares here. This is the second in a trilogy of videos around soul purpose and life purpose. So in the last video, which you can check out here as well, I talked about this idea of the soul knowing what matters and the ego knowing how to carry it out, or the conscious mind knowing how to carry it out. And these ways that we can begin to encounter the soul and the ways that we do encounter the soul, and begin to work with and unpack these images that we can walk with as illuminators of our soul purpose. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. But what I wanted to do in this second video was share a little bit, and this is not something that I get, you'll have to excuse the noise. I was hoping that they were done, but they're not. These are not things that I often get to share. So this will be one of my first times of attempting to begin to unpack a bit how I experience these soul images. And there will be many that I will forget to mention, but there are a few big ones that I walk with and continue to inform me on a regular basis about what choices I make and how I enact my purpose on this planet. So I have this cool, this is me working with the mystery. So I am not arrived at a place where I have like nailed down purpose and like it's just this finite kind of complete and done thing. It's something that I walk with that continues to unfold. So I share this in process, and I will be in process my whole life. But I've been tracking, and these are images that have come through my whole life. So one of them, this is like a collective of images. One of them is this image that I have from my childhood. When I was a little girl, so the things that we absolutely loved when we were children, our gateways into our soul encounter and our soul and what matters to our soul. So when I was a little girl, I would sing all the time. I sang all day long. I sang in my sleep. I was always singing. My family didn't like it very much, but I loved it. It was like my deepest joy. And I have this memory of being on, my family owned a boat for a period of time. We were on the river delta up in Northern California. And I have this image of myself popped up out of this hatch in the boat, and I'm singing to the water. So it's this like, I'm just like belting out classic rock. And that's one of my soul images. So this singing to the water, this singing on the water. And then, fast forward years in the future from that moment, and I find myself like allured and drawn to singing to nature. Like I love to go to a river or to a stream or to a lake or to the ocean and sing to it. It's just this beautiful way that I offer myself, my essence, my consciousness, my intention to earth, to Gaia. And so I've been singing to the water. And I've had a few other soul images around, like she who sings to the waters. I had a great imaginal journey about a year and a half ago, guided by this amazing soul guide facilitator. And I uncovered this image of this high mountain area where there was this massive avalanche. And the avalanche was the energy that I was tapping into. And my job was to express that energy as it gets down to the alpine lake and begins to trickle into the lake as a stream. So it's like taking this really raw, potent, powerful energy and bringing it down to where it can be expressed in this like delicate stream that runs into the alpine lake. So that's another image that I walk with. So as I track these and gather these and collect them and notice them, I begin to get a partial image of, what is my soul identity? What are these soul images that I'm working with? And so I've gathered these through nature, through childhood experience, through journey work, through all of these things, and I walk with them. So my ego doesn't come in and go, oh, I know exactly what that means. End conclusion is X. It's that you walk with the question. What is it like to be she who sings to the waters? What does that mean? So for me, so far, what I've unpacked is the singing. There's something about my voice. There's something about my voice that is part of my way, the way that I belong to this world is the way that I use my voice. And I can see how that's been enacted by my conscious mind through my writing, through these videos, through the sound work that I do. And then the waters. It's like, what's the thing about the waters? It's like, oh, the waters are the emotional body. You know, I sing to the emotions. I speak to the emotions. I speak to the undercurrents, the layers of the soul, you know. I've had another soul image of like going and diving deep, deep down into the bottom of the ocean and like gathering up jewels and then bringing them back up to the surface to share with others. That's another soul image I've had. And so we begin to gather these up and walk with them as questions, as like spirit soul questions. What does it look like for me to sing to the waters? What does that look like? So that's where I am with my own soul imagery. That's just kind of one thread. I have a few others as well. Other people that I know who've kind of uncovered and are working with soul images. Bill Plotkin, for example, sees his kind of mythopoetic identity as being a weaver of webs, being a weaver of cocoons. Other people are here to like uncover the deep feminine mysteries of Eros, for example. And these are open. They're open. They continue to unfold and walk with us as we move through life. Something else I want to share about my soul image examples. So I encourage you to begin to stock these images in your own life. Begin to track them like you would track a wild animal in a forest. Like, oh, where are they going? What are the signs? What are the symbols? What are the synchronicities? What are the images? You know what? Begin to tune into those and just see what unfolds. See what happens. And maybe you already do. I bet you do. I bet you do to some extent. But my invitation is to open that up even bigger. So in the next video, I want to talk about how we can use astrology on the soul level to also weave in some archetypal medicine into our walk with our soul purpose. So I'll be back. Lots of love.